Hey, what's going on, everybody? You can call me Snippy. And welcome back to another hand cam video. I'm actually not going to use this thing this time, but you know, if you want a progress update, I tried sharpening it for a little bit. I need to spend a few hours doing that. Okay, that's completely separate. Welcome back. In this video, oh my god, I almost dropped all of them. We're going to be taking a look at this. I didn't do research beforehand, so forgive me if I'm wrong on anything I say. But I believe these are, this is a Russian chocolate bar called
Alyonka.
Okay, my camera won't focus, so you know what? Believe me, alright? This is an Alyonka chocolate bar, from what I know. And these, usually, I see them in, the video game Escape From Tarkov. Actually, I have a funny story to tell about these things in that game. My experience there. I think this is a translated nutrition facts. You can see. This camera does not have a focus. This camera doesn't have a focus. Okay, I can't figure out how to focus my camera, so you're just going to have to believe me. This is nutrition facts. I'll help read it off. 200 calories per serving. There is 2.5 servings per container. It says serving size is 6 cups. This is a bar of chocolate. Why is the serving size in cups? You're not supposed to. This isn't like baking chocolate, I don't think. This is like an actual bar you eat. I don't know, and I don't know why this camera doesn't have focus. It's killing me and my mood to make the video, but you know what? You can't film a first reaction more than once. So we're going to have to live with it. All right. So here we go. This is the Alyonka. Now it's time for me to open it up, I guess. I mean, it does say here, again, you cannot read a single thing. Moving on from all the mishaps, all right, this is unfortunate that you cannot read anything on the back. I mean, it's all in Russian anyway. This is not a good video. That's fine. That's fine. If I imagine myself as Markiplier, then everything will go well. You know, he doesn't care about stuff like this. So why should I? So let's just. How am I going to open this with these gloves on? How do you do it in Tarkov? Well, in Tarkov, you. In Tarkov, you have superpowers. Let's put it that way. This thing doesn't have a. It's not sharp. Oh, perfect. Just do a little operation. I have more of these, by the way, so I don't mind damaging this one, but we'll see what happens. These were kind of melted, by the way, when I got them. If you're wondering where I got them, by the way, I just got them off Amazon. It's not that difficult to find. Not that difficult to get. So if you're even more interested, then I guess you'll have to forgive my lack of expertise. You'll have to venture into the dark on your own. All right, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's a chocolate bar. It's very flat looking. That is the back, though. That's probably why. Yeah, let's set this thing out all the way. Perfect. No, not perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now we flip it. Oh, it's broken apart. There you go. There you go. It's a chocolate bar. I mean, what were you expecting? I'm going to be honest. It smells pretty good from here, even. Yeah, it smells extremely chocolatey. Like it smells almost like dark chocolate. Actually, it really doesn't smell like milk chocolate at all. Maybe they do things differently over there. Gee, I wonder. What was that? Oh, it's the fabric rustling and ruffling. There you go. There's. I really don't want to touch this with these gloves. I just make things harder for myself when they need to be. That's fine. I touched it now. Okay, here we go. Look at that. You're not going to be able to make out much detail. There's not much detail to make out. It's chocolate in little squares, and it says Alyonka in the same way it said it on the front. If that's even what that says. I'm not a genius. I'm a dum-dum. That's the whole point. You're not going to find that elsewhere, are you? Okay, I'm going to take a bite, and I'll tell you what I think. Here we go. Chocolate. It looks very plasticky. It also, oh yeah, the thing I was going to say earlier before I got frustrated. It says on the back that there's according to California, there's a risk of cancer eating this. I do love chocolate. Wow. Whoa. Okay. First impression. It's pretty good. I mean, it's chocolate. It tastes like milk chocolate. It has more of a texture of like a dark chocolate though. It doesn't, I mean, I'm wearing gloves, but I also did refrigerate it before doing this because it was kind of melty when I got it. So I refrigerated them in a plastic bag for about a day. And I gotta say, I mean, it's pretty good. It had a little weird spice to it. That's why I was a little freaked out there. And that's why I was like, ooh. It had a little spicy flavor, which is bizarre. That is not what I expected at all. I don't know if it's because of the gloves or... No, I didn't touch that part. So that must just be some ingredient that they use, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to give another bite a try and we'll see. Yeah, it definitely... Because may or may not be because I refrigerated it, but it's pretty put together and like a dark chocolate is, you know? It's not melting into my hands or anything. Like, there's really not even any chocolate on the gloves at all, which, thank God. It's pretty easy to get a crunch in. Again, I refrigerated it, but even still, the stuff that I'm used to would probably still be melting by now. It's pretty creamy. It's pretty... There's not as much sweetness as you might think. It's very chocolatey. Like, that's the primary flavor. It's not... That's not sugar in the body of chocolate. It's very clearly a, bar of chocolate. It has that chocolatey taste to it. It's actually pretty damn good. There's definitely like a weird, spicy, sugary aftertaste. Very weird. It's like the sugar sweetness. Half of that is spice, but then it immediately fades away and then tastes like sugar again. It's like they use some different kind of sugar. I don't know. I should read the back after this and maybe we can figure it out. We can put our investigative mind to the test. Let me get another bite in. Have you ever tried, It's like those luxury chocolates. It's hard to explain it. I don't even remember the brand name. But it's like these little tiny squares of chocolate, and they have like a blue wrapper, and they're really, they're nicely like wrapped, wrapping. It's got like blue on it. They have different flavors. Like one of them, the chocolate's just full of caramel. It's just a chocolate shell with caramel inside. I don't remember the brand, but over here, that's a thing we have. And the chocolate there tastes the same. It tastes more like that luxurious kind of thing. And it's kind of nice to have in a, big bar like this. It has that crisp texture to it. but it does pretty quickly turn into, mush in your mouth. Turns into chocolatey paste pretty quickly, which is pretty nice. And yeah, it has that little bit of spice to it. Honestly, now that I think about it, I feel like it's a normal thing with chocolate, but something about when I first tasted it, I could tell it was different. Like I could just tell this is not what I usually have. It's also, look how shiny and reflective it is. It's not focusing very well, but you can tell how it almost looks like plastic. I honestly, if you told me this was Lego, I'd probably agree with you until I flipped it and saw how flat it was on the other side. Not too bad, not too shabby. I'm gonna take another bite. I don't know what the actual serving size is. So I'm definitely not eating the whole thing. That's not happening. I don't want to. I don't want to die. I mean, I'm already taking a risk. Who knows where this thing came from? Speaking of where it came from, okay. Let me finish chewing and I'll tell you a story about Tarkov. God, it has a sweet, like Easter chocolatey aftertaste. And then it goes a little spicy as it leaves you. As it leaves, it tastes like the kind of chocolate you get as a casing, or as like a chocolate bunny or something. Like I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I guess that's just milk chocolate, right? But it doesn't have any milk chocolate bar taste I recognize. Every bar I feel like has a taste to it, like Crunch bars, Hershey's bars. They all have a specific flavor to them. This lacks that. This has more of a, again, generic almost flavor to it. I almost got like a hot chocolate kind of hit at the end there with the spice. Like it kind of turned into that, which is a little weird. I'm not the best at describing this kind of thing. You have to forgive me, but I mean, it's not really that complicated. I mean, it's chocolate, it's not some mystery food. We don't really even know what it is. Like Calorie Mate, I only knew what the box looked like. We know what this is. This is chocolate. There's not much more you can really say about it than that. So let me tell you a story about the Alyonka. Here, let me actually just let me get a fresh bar for display for you. There we go. That'll make a good thumbnail. Looks like a murder scene or an autopsy, before and after disaster or something. All right, I'm gonna tell you a little story about the good old Alyonka, as I know it from Escape from Tarkov. In that game, you can find this just around the map, right? You can find it in containers. You can find it on dead people. You can find it on shelves. It's just a common, well, not really common. It's actually pretty uncommon, but it's an item you can find, and it helps recover energy. It dehydrates you because it's chocolate. I'll be honest, this isn't very dehydrating. Now, this hasn't been sitting in a war zone for a decade, or 5 years, or however long Tarkov lore, whatever. But this ain't very dehydrating. I'll be honest. Any homeland. Oh God, it sounds weird. Any chocolate I'm used to would dehydrate me way more than this. This isn't very dehydrating. Maybe it's just me, because I said that about Calorie Mate, and then it ended up actually being kind of dehydrating. That's another story. The story, right? You can find this in Tarkov. It's a pretty popular item. It's a thing anybody will loot because it's worth a good amount. You can turn it into sugar, which can be turned into moonshine, which can be turned into many other things. It's very valuable, like this itself is. But to me, to Snippy here, this is worth way more than those pinheads, moonshine-making pinheads think that it is. This right here is a bar of chocolate. It's a bar of chocolate, and there's not many things better than that in life. There really isn't. And I've been rewarded for this, line of thought. It doesn't just stop there. You could call me a bit of a prophet, if you will. Much like the Halo ones, except I'm not trying to manipulate you yet. I found one of these in Tarkov in a computer. in a computer. You know, a PC case. The thing that contains CPUs, HDDs, DVD drives, graphics cards. I got a fucking chocolate bar from it on reserve on the second floor of the building with the tech room that you can jump into from the third floor. You know what that is. The opposite of that, so it wasn't the PCs in there, it's the opposite end of the hallway. There's a room with one computer. I looted that. It had a fucking chocolate bar. Found in raid, so a player didn't bring it in. And honestly, who would leave this behind anyway? Surely you're better off dropping a magazine or something. This is like 40, 50K per piece. These are valuable. And it's a one slot. Nobody would leave. Even if the guy who fucking put it there found a graphics card, he would rather drop a magazine to take that rather than... I don't know what scenario would have you put a chocolate bar in a computer. So my theory is I've been rewarded for the faith, and that this was bestowed upon me by the divine powers that be. And if you don't know, Tarkov's gone a lot of directions over the years, over time. One day, there will come a time when players can become traders, I think it says it on the actual website for the game, if I'm not mistaken. You player marketplaces. I mean, never mind the fact that they got rid of the auctions button in the menu, and they're probably never going to add this feature. I'm going to harp it on because they said maybe one day it's part of vision. I'm going to become the Alyonka trader. All right. Everybody will know my name as the Alyonka trader because I'll take these. I'll barter these for anything. You want a thermal sight? You want a Meta M4? You want a 60 rounder? You want a gunsmith gun? You want a graphics card, buddy? Give me one of these. One of them. Just one. One barter. One for one. One for these. You want T7 thermal goggles? Give me that. PKM loaded with fucking tracer rounds to scare people off? So you can roleplay as an auto gunner from Arma 3? Give me 2 of these. 2. Maybe I'll give you that. Maybe. Imagining like in-raid traders, you gotta imagine like Stalker, like that dude at the start who looks like Propor. He's like, I'm not gonna do an impression, all right? I'm gonna be like that guy, but with these, okay? So you Stalker, get out there, give me chocolate bars. Okay, I'll give you a Red Labs key card. I think that's a valuable trade. People don't see the value in this. Have you guys ever eaten one in Tarkov before? You tear it open, and then you have the chocolate bar sticking out like this. Except it's like flat, so it's more like that one. But I'm going to eat this one anyway because I know it's safe. And then you go, you go, you crunch it off. It's the most satisfying animation in any video game that's ever been made. I worship chocolate like this, man. This is good stuff. Where was I? What, real life history of whatever this is? I don't fucking know that. I'm a gamer, what'd I say, huh? So yeah, that was the Alyonka chocolate bar, as I know it from Escape from Tarkov. Let's just get a good look at that from all sides. Again, I apologize for the camera not having an actual focus feature. I cannot believe, I genuinely didn't think that existed. I thought every camera had to have a focus feature. God, there's almost an iron flavor with this thing, I'm going to be honest. That spicy flavor just turned into more of a metallic one. Is it my gloves? Maybe. Probably. How do I feel right now? Not amazing, I'm going to be honest. This doesn't feel good. If I die in a week, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. But I've always been a fan of this item in Tarkov for a long time. Me and my friends would, we would always joke about these. If they found one, it would go to me. And then I would always trade them literally the most valuable thing in my inventory. Whether that be a fucking graphics card or a fuel tank or whatever, I would just drop them that. The second they had one of these. One of them. Just one. I was a generous I was a noble, generous man. I was a merchant. I was a merchant. I was a trader. I was a traitor, okay? Yes, I know the camera position is not that great. Forgive me, okay? Next video, by the way, we're going to be doing something more complicated. It's going to take a while. This one is a lot of me rambling and talking because there's really not much to say about this. It's chocolate and it tastes foreign as it is. A little metallic, a little spicy, nah. But other than that, it tastes pretty like luxury chocolate. The kind of stuff that normally gets rationed out for a small bit of stuff. Hopefully in the next video, it's going to be a lot more complicated. I'll give you a sneak peek. I actually don't know exactly what it is going to be yet, but I don't know if that's familiar to you sounding. Little peek, maybe that's familiar looking. I am most definitely not an expert on that technology, but I'm very interested in it, and you'll see it in the next hand cam video. The camera probably won't improve, so I apologize in advance, but this isn't exactly my area of expertise, is it? Okay. Thank you so much for watching. You know I always come back, and while I have been Snippy, you know I'll see you around. Ah!
About command. They just left us.
What the fuck?
I found fucking Herobrine in Tarkov, dude. I'm by myself right now. I'm offline. Who the fuck pointed a laser up here? That was fucking Herobrine. That was Herobrine. That was the ghost of Vacant. That was the Halo 3 Blackout ghost. That was the ghost of Call of Duty Vacant. That's what the hell was that? It's you, it's the ghost! It's this fucking guy! Got him, baby. I'm solving this fucking mystery. This is the power of an investigative mind. Oh shit. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Give me the answer. There's a guy with a fucking TOZ. There's a guy with a fucking TOZ. No, it is not. That's what? What do you mean, game? That's not how this works. A guy with a TOZ doesn't have a fucking laser. Is that what is in his boss container slot? Like, what the hell is that?